Sudhi Pranam. Welcome to your today's topic, which is balancing the three gunas and their relevancy during pregnancy. So, three means three, and guna means the fundamental characteristics or the fundamental qualities. So, let's dive into understanding the three gunas. So, the three mode of nature lies deep within every individual, and there is a unique blend of these three fundamental qualities that shape our thoughts, actions, and overall character. And these qualities, which are also known as gunas in Sanskrit, plays a very vital role in defining who we are and how we interact in the world. And in Hindu mythology, we find a very intriguing analogy in the ancient Hindu mythological text called Ramayana, where the conduct and the character of three brothers symbolizes these three gunas. They belong from the same family and they have been raised by the same parents, but they represent different gunas or different characteristics. Now, Ravana in the story represents Rajas guna. The Kumbhakarna represents the Tamas guna, and Vibhishana personifies the Sattva guna. If you have been able to somehow come across Ramayana and been able to watch the story, you would really relate to how these three characters represent three different way of beings and three different qualities and characteristics as human beings. And if you have never heard the story, then you will really explore what I mean when I say what is sattva. So sattva is the sense of wisdom and goodness. Rajas is the passion, and tamas is the ignorance. And we'll explore more in detail. Now, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa was a great Indian sage, enlightened us about explaining these gunas in a very different manner. And he says that although these gunas are a very important part of our journey, and it might look like that embodying the sattva guna is the ultimate goal, but he says even these gunas does not have the power to lead us to ultimate truth. So he really beautifully illustrates that the concept of understanding the gunas through a story. And he says that imagine a man journeying through a forest only to be ambushed by three robbers. So the first robber suggests that let's just kill him, and while the second suggests let's bind him and keep him hostage forever. Well, and the third robber suggests let us set him free. Let allow him to go, let him go away. So Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa explains that these three robbers symbolizes the three gunas. The tamas seeks to destroy us, the rajas binds us in the worldly desire, but the sattva liberates us from their clutches. But nevertheless, even the sattva falls short of gaining true knowledge, and it merely shows us the path towards the divine, and without reaching the ultimate destination. So even if you have been at that stage where you are embodying the sattva guna within your characteristics as a dominant guna, yet its role is just to show a path to the ultimate union with the divine. But what leads to an ultimate union with the divine is a whole together very deep discussion into understanding spirituality. But in short, the union is suggested when one being goes beyond its qualities and characteristics. Going beyond your characteristics means you become nirguna. Nir means none, and guna means understand, right, which is characteristic. So when you do, and even in the path of yoga, the ultimate goal from the Patanjali Sutras is to reach the samadhi. But in the ancient text and in many different spiritual paths, they say that reaching the nirguna samadhi So nirguna means when the one does not identify with his or her characteristics anymore, whether your all the qualities or the personality or sense of personality is just not there. You are so one with the divine, you're so one with the creation in itself that there is no role to play of the identification with these characteristics just melts away. So from the manifested reality, you become the unmanifested reality. You go beyond the nature in itself. You go beyond the creation, and you become that the point of singularity or nothingness where everything arises from. So that in itself is a very, very deep discussion. Maybe if you get a chance in some other topic, lecture, or other environment, you could definitely share that these teachings. But for now, just for you to understand that these different gunas or characteristics will keep playing different roles in our manifestation and in our lives in a very different manner. These gunas also find their expression in the nature, or we call it Prakriti in Sanskrit. And the material nature that permeates everything is known as Prakriti. So these fundamental qualities or characteristics are also represented in not just in human beings, but in entire creation in different manners. And if we look at how they manifest in human beings or represented through human beings, I would say in this manner. So first is Sattva Guna. So the Sattva Guna, which is also known as the mode of goodness, this mode fosters as wisdom and shield us from material miseries and facilitates intellectual growth. Now Rajas Guna, which is the mode of passion, this mode revolves around desires and pursuit for material enjoyment, and it fuels ambition, the craving for recognition, and the constant struggle for success. Now third guna, which is the tamas guna, can be said as the mode of ignorance, and this mode makes us become oblivious to higher truth, and it makes us engrossed in the mundane affair, and it displays the display of characteristics of this guna is laziness, attachment, or even delusion. And every individual is conditioned by a unique blend of these three gunas, which results in various psychological manifestations. Some may experience happiness, others may be highly active, while some may feel helpless. And these variations stem from individuals' particular conditioning within the nature, overall nature. And so it's really essential for us to understand that the mode that is dominant within us determines our behavior and perception. So it is not that you are only represented by one single characteristic, let's say sattva or tamas. Each individual has all of these three characteristics present. It's just that one of it is dominant at one point in time. So in your journey into inner exploration, if one is willing to do inner work, it is a beautiful opportunity that human beings have, that they can work upon their dominant nature and change it to sattva. Or even if someone has been into sattvic nature for a long time, can come into influence with rajas or tamas and change it to back to tamas or rajas. So it is, all of three are always present at all times. It's just that one of it becomes dominant depending on your daily pursuance of what kind of characteristics you would like to embody. Some of it has also been inherent. Some of it you catch it from your environment, and ultimately with your inner inquiry, your inner persuasion of a certain characteristics, you make one of it dominant. Now, how can we break free of the influence of these gunas? So, when we think about breaking free of the characteristics itself, as we discussed in some time back about going beyond the qualities or becoming nirguna. So, Bhagavad Gita, which is a sacred Hindu text, offers a solution, and it says that Bhakti Yoga, which is the path of devotion and service, is the key. And it says that by cultivating the deep connection with the divine, we can transcend the limitation of guna and attain liberation, and hence return to the supreme abode known as Vaikunt, which is the divine abode, and ultimately receive that sense of union within. So in short, I would say the gunas are the vibrant hues that color our spiritual journey, and recognizing and understanding their influence empowers us to navigate life's challenges and foster personal growth. And by embracing the path of devotion and rising above the gunas, we can ultimately attain freedom and reunite with the divine. Now, harmonizing the three gunas and cultivating balance for inner well-being. So balancing the Mahagunas is like finding harmony in the symphony of life. So understanding and harmonizing the interplay of the three gunas, Rajas, Sattva and Tamas, is very essential for achieving the balance and inner well-being. So just as our doshas, which we have discussed before, comes from Ayurveda understanding. Just as our doshas need equilibrium for optimum health, the gunas also requires a delicate balance to navigate life's challenges with clarity and grace. So identifying your dominant guna provides us valuable insight into your personality and helps you recognize the internal and external forces that influence your actions. So while knowing your primary guna is really insightful, and it's important to remember that all the gunas are ever-flowing energies and they are constantly changing. So even if with a dominant guna, it is crucial to maintain the balance by nurturing all three and embracing the presence of all three within you. So what you can do is imagine that your dominant guna as a pair of lenses that shape your perception of the world. So a sattvic person sees the world in harmony and approaches challenges with calmness and clarity. Although they may experience temporary destruction, but they quickly return to their harmonious center, utilizing the strength of sattva, rajas and tamas to find effective solutions. So sattva, the being of sattva has that, clarity to even see and understand the characteristics of rajas and tamas present within. But that being who is centered inside sattva is so much in balance and stillness that it can even utilize the characteristics of rajas and tamas to its favor. Because when you are balanced and centered within, you can see what is playing, what energies are playing what role, and how you can effectively use them to your requirement. Now, a rajas person, on the other hand, is driven by restlessness and constant activity. So while this energy can be beneficial for productivity, but impulsive action without thoughtful consideration may lead to more chaos. So by staying mindful of their dominant guna, people with rajasic nature can harness power of tamas to slow down and power of sattva to think clearly and avoid unnecessary turmoil. And for those with tamasic nature inclination, motivation and taking action may present challenges. So, however, the qualities of stillness and caution can be valuable asset in certain situations. So by tapping into their Rajas energy and stepping outside of their comfort zone, Tamas dominant people can overcome inertia and make positive contribution, ensuring thoughtful decision making without falling into procrastination. So if you understand your dominant nature, you can know what you are falling short of and how you can harness the wisdom from sattva and energy from rajas and use it wisely even if you are tamas dominant. So all is possible, but being insightful is the key to it. Now, to balance among the Mahagunas or the Tri-Gunas, we can draw parallels with the balance of our doshas. So how an Ayurvedic lifestyle that includes proper nutrition, physical activity, rest and mindfulness is crucial. So similarly, consuming sattvic foods nourishes both our body and mind, and while avoiding rajasic and tamasic foods can help us reduce the imbalances. So now when we are engaging in practices like pranayama, breathing and meditation, and regular yoga sessions, all this cultivates sattva within us. And when we allocate a day each week for fasting and consume high sattvic foods, it further boosts our alignment with the harmonious energy. And if we embrace brahmacharya and manage our energy wisely and direct it towards meaningful pursuits, which contributes to overall balance and mahaguna. So brahmacharya is often understood as celibacy, but it is just a way of not overindulging your energy into too much of rajasic activities, maybe too much of sex or too much of involvement of your energy which is not serving your inner balance. So you can take it as the role of you can understand brahmacharya from an aspect of moderation also. So being moderate in whatever you're choosing can be the key here and to keep the balance of the gunas. So when we embrace the interplay of all these three gunas and consciously nurture their equilibrium, we can embark on a journey of self-awareness and inner harmony. And balancing these three gunas is not a destination but an ongoing practice. And it allows us to embrace the symphony of life with grace and authenticity. And as we cultivate this delicate balance, we create a profound sense of well-being that ripples through our existence. So in the dance of Mahaguna, we find our own rhythm harmonizing with the flow of life and discovering the profound beauty that lies within. Now, let's look at the impact of Tri-Gunas on pregnancy. So why balancing is important during pregnancy. So pregnancy is a very beautiful and transformative phase in a woman's life. And it is a time when not only the physical body undergoes changes, but also the mind and emotion goes through a lot of changes for a woman. So in the context of Tri-Gunas, or the three fundamental qualities of nature, we can understand their impact on pregnancy through various means. So the first guna that we can look through is tamas. So tamas represents an underactive state. So during pregnancy, an imbalance in tamas can manifest as lethargy, confusion, or possessiveness. And it is so crucial to address these tendencies and strive for clarity, vitality, and positive emotions. So engaging in activities that promote energy, such as prenatal yoga or gentle stretches or gentle movements, spending time in nature, going for walks can help uplift the state of tamas. The second guna is rajas, which represents an overactive state. So in pregnancy, an imbalance in rajas may lead to restlessness, excessive ambition, or anxiety. And it's important to find the balance by incorporating relaxation techniques like deep breathing, meditation, and other nurturing and self-care activities to just slow down a little bit. And cultivating a sense of calmness and focusing on the present moment can really help harmonize the rajas during this precious time. Now, the third is sattva, which signifies the balance and harmony, and it is the desired state during pregnancy. So, sattva promotes the feelings of happiness, compassion, and contentment. To cultivate sattva, one can engage in activities that promote self-care, such as mindfulness, eating nutritious foods, and surrounding oneself with positive influences. All this brings more harmony with sattva guna. And engaging in creative pursuits also, like nurturing relationships and spending time in peaceful environments, doing and practicing hobbies that calms you down, that makes you more grounded. All these can contribute to a balanced sattva state. Now, maintaining a balance among three gunas during pregnancy is crucial for the well-being of the mother and the baby. So an excess of any particular guna can lead to imbalance and potential challenges. So by understanding the qualities associated with each guna, pregnant women can actually consciously make choices that promote a harmonious state of being. And it is important to remember that each woman's experience of pregnancy is unique, and the influence of three gunas also will vary. So as much as it's important for us to make the mothers understand the value and the characteristics of these gunas, at the same point in time, we need to continue to guide them to listen to their body and their inner wisdom. That becomes a very vital in the pregnancy journey. So listening to their body constantly and knowing and trusting their inner wisdom will actually lead them to finding the right balance ultimately. And whenever they need, they should seek support of the doctors, healthcare professionals, or you who is providing any kind of yogic guidance or any spiritual counseling or psychological counseling that they might need support from. If they believe that they should approach professionals for psychological guidance and managing any mental state, even that, if that is required, they should do that if that is the need of an hour. Now, recognizing the impact of three gunas on pregnancy can really empower mothers to create a nurturing and balanced environment for themselves and also for the unborn child. And striving for a harmonious blend of tamas, rajas, and sattva can contribute to very healthier and a fulfilling pregnancy journey. And when a mother is embracing self-care, mindfulness practices, and also at the same time taking required support whenever and whenever required, the mothers can navigate this transformative phase of pregnancy with a lot of grace and well-being, not just for themselves, but also for the little one. Now, let's explore the connection between three gunas and food. So during pregnancy, nourishing the mind and body becomes very important. And when we understand the connection between three gunas and pregnancy, we can understand that diet plays a very crucial role here. So during pregnancy, the food we consume not only nourishes our body, but also influences our mental and emotional well-being. And not just during pregnancy, otherwise also you will, if you are willing to experiment this and see how your mental state or emotional state is impacted by the food that you're eating, it's very, very easy. Once you eat a food, just create a journal, write how you felt after that. And after a month's time, you will have a full diary of understanding how different foods were impacting your mental and emotional state. So in pregnancy, it becomes way more important, the role of food in that has influence to our mental and emotional state. So in the ancient practices of yoga and Ayurveda, the concept of Tri-Gunas really helps us understand the quality of energy and how they affect our behavior and thinking patterns, also our health, and also even our diet. So when we are dwelling into to look into the connection of food and Tri-Gunas, let's start with looking at sattva, so which is the mode of goodness, which represents balance and calmness. So sattvic foods are considered ideal during pregnancy as they promote clarity of mind and sense of harmony. And these foods are generally of freshly grown organic fruits and vegetables, and all the fruits and vegetables that are fresh with all the juice present in them, and mostly primarily vegetarian diet is considered to be a sattvic diet. And sattvic diet also includes legumes and ghee and maybe grass-fed organic fresh milk that is prepared with all the food that is prepared with love and without any kind of preservatives or additives, and comes from the nature. Simple, not in a package, but comes from the nature, can be considered and looked at as a sattvic food. So consuming sattvic foods really elevates our consciousness and inspires positive action, and it also deepens our meditation practice and unlocks our hidden potential and creativity. And it leaves us feeling happy, peaceful, and equipped to navigate the outside world quite effectively. Now when we look at the second guna, which is rajas, which is the mode of passion, and it also symbolizes motion and dynamism. So rajasic foods come into play during periods of physical labor or high activity levels. So while they provide an initial burst of energy, they can lead to increased stress levels and imbalance. So rajasic foods might include spices, garlic, caffeine from coffee, black tea or chocolate, then eggs, meat, alcohol, fermented or canned foods, fried or overcooked foods, all this can have sattvic or rajasic qualities. So a high diet in rajasic food can disrupt equilibrium between the body and mind, and prioritizing physical nourishment at the expense of mental well-being. So those in a rajasic state may eat hurriedly and experience very poor digestion and might struggle with overall health. And the mind in a rajasic state is intense and passionate and investing great effort in pursuit, but easily becoming frustrated if goals are not achieved. This is the kind of mental state of a being embodying the rajasic state primarily. Coming on to the tamasic guna, which is the mode of ignorance, and it represents resistance and inertia. So tamasic food requires significant energy to digest and often induce a sense of heaviness and dullness. And they include onions, mushrooms, meats, any leftovers or microwaved, also frozen foods prepared with indifference also possess tamasic qualities. And consuming tamasic foods does not uplift our consciousness or energy levels, but rather drags us into the state of inertia, laziness, and indifference. And in addition to causing various health issues, a tamasic diet can make us unmotivated, careless, and unaware of ourselves and those around us. And the mind in a tamasic state exhibits negative traits like lethargy, depression, hatred, or even harmful tendencies. So, to ensure a healthy pregnancy, it's really important to consider the preparation of food as well. So, fresh vegetarian meals are generally sattvic, but they can become rajasic by adding excessive spices, or through frying or overcooking. Also, they can become rajasic. Further, when cooked in advance or stored for too long, even sattvic foods can acquire tamasic qualities. So, understanding the influence of Tri-Gunas on our pregnancy diet can empower us to make conscious choices for the well-being of both mother and the baby. And striving for a sattvic diet during pregnancy promotes balance, clarity, and peace of mind. However, it's really essential to listen to the body at the same time and the unique needs of each mother. Every mother might have a different calling at different times, so she can continue to listen to her body and address her unique needs, and also take any healthcare support whenever required, and also can consult a healthcare professional to create a personalized diet plan that supports her individualistic bodily requirements and ultimately support her overall well-being. And by nourishing ourselves with right food and maintaining harmonious balance between the three gunas, we can cultivate the environment for growth and development of our physical and mental well-being during pregnancy. So, mother can continue to use the wisdom from the three gunas and use it to her favor for her well-being and the well-being of the child, but at the same time, listen to her body and individual requirements. Now, cultivating harmony and balance. So, pregnancy is a very beautiful time, as we know, and the mothers naturally desire best for their babies at this time, and also feel constantly concerned for the baby's development and growth. So the one way to support this process is by cultivating harmony and balance through the Sattva Guna. And Sattva Guna, which represents the mode of goodness, equilibrium, and clarity, this quality, it is the quality of energy that promotes a sense of calmness and balance within all. And when we embrace Sattva Guna during pregnancy, it can have a very profound impact on both the physical and mental well-being of mothers as well as of the babies. So when we discuss about Sattva Guna in relation to the pregnancy, it can refer to nurturing oneself with pure, nourishing, and wholesome foods. And these foods not only provide essential nutrients for mother but for the baby, and it also contributes to a very peaceful and harmonious state of mind for the mother and the baby. So sattvic foods are really known for their purity and minimal processing, and as we've discussed earlier, it usually usually foods that are organically grown, fresh fruits, organically grown vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds. All these foods which are naturally rich in vitamins, minerals, fibers, antioxidants that supports the overall health of and well-being of mother and baby. They opting for these kind of pure natural diet can create a beautiful harmonious balance within mom and the baby. Now, the beauty of sattvic foods really lies in their ability to promote clear and focused mind, as we discussed. And when we consume these foods, it can really help elevate stress, anxiety, and also the mood swings that are commonly experienced during pregnancy. So they provide very sustained energy without the highs and lows that are often associated with consumption of excessive processed or sugary food. So when we incorporate sattvic foods into our diet, which is relatively simple, we can start, by including colorful organic fruits and vegetables, as we discussed. We can choose grains like quinoa and brown rice and oats over, white bread, etc., which is too starchy and has too much of sugar. And we can replace that with quinoa, brown rice, and oats. And these grains actually provide a lot of long-lasting energy and are filled with essential nutrients, so they can be really preferred. Now we can also go for plant-based protein instead of meat-based protein, and choosing plant-based protein also favors harmony in the sattva guna. Plant-based proteins like lentils and chickpea and tofu, all these meet the increased protein requirement of the mother, and they are great source of sattva guna foods also. Nuts and seeds are also very excellent sources of healthy fats and also can be enjoyed as snacks or added meals. Now, fresh, organic, grass-fed dairy products like milk and yogurt and ghee can also provide calcium and other essential nutrients for mom and the baby. And if the mom chooses to be vegan during this day and age, because milk is highly adulterated, or they don't want to support the damage that the cows go through at this point in time, then they can always choose vegan alternatives, which are great these days. Yogurts that are made of coconut and peanuts and soya and oats. There are milk also alternatives like almond milk, coconut milk, soya milk. All of these can also provide essential nutrients to the mom and the baby. Now, preparing sattvic meals involves cooking with love and mindfulness. And when we embrace simplicity in cooking methods and avoid excessive use of spices, oil, and salt, that in itself becomes a very sattvic meal. And we can also choose some gentle cooking techniques like steaming or sauteing or baking to help retain the natural flavors and the nutrients of the ingredient. And that also is a way of cooking in a sattvic manner. And by embracing the sattvic during the pregnancy journey, mothers can really create a very nurturing environment for themselves and the baby. And the harmonious balance of sattva guna will certainly promote overall well-being, clarity of mind, and deeper connection with the growing baby. It will also allow the mothers to approach their pregnancy with a sense of tranquility, joy, and immense gratitude. And so it's really important to remember that, even though she would want to do all of this, but at the same time, she should, I'm reminding, continue to listen her own body and her own body's essential needs at time. And whenever required, she can consult qualified nutritionists here who can give her a meal plan specifically aligning with her own personal needs and preferences. And as the mothers, embark on this journey of motherhood, they can continue to embrace sattva guna as much as possible inside of their, balancing their practical lives and needs. But as much as possible, if they're choosing more of the sattvic diet and nourishing foods, it will not only benefit their own well-being, but also constantly contribute to the healthy growth of the developing baby. Now, let's look at how to manage activity and restlessness which is the dominance guna of the Rajas. So pregnancy is a time that everything is constantly changing, and so both mentally and emotionally as well as physically. So for mothers to find a balance between staying active and managing restlessness becomes very important at this point in time. And when we understand the concept of Rajas Guna, we can help mothers to navigate this delicate balance. So Rajas Guna represents the mode of passion and activity, as we have discussed. And it is the quality of energy that is associated with movement, motivation, and ambition. So to address Rajas Guna during pregnancy, mothers need to find ways to channel their energy in a balanced and mindful manner, and engaging in activities that will promote overall well-being while being attentive to their body's needs. So staying physically active during pregnancy offers a lot of benefits, like, and when we do regular exercise or workout and stay active, this improves circulation or strengthens muscles, moves the mood, and also prepares the body for the childbirth. But, however, at the same time, it's important for the mothers to choose safe and appropriate activities for each stage of pregnancy. So with Rajas Guna, it's just that we don't have to overdo. We need to use the inherent, that passionate energy that comes with Rajas, but we need to do it wisely. We need to not never overdo it and use the balance of it and use it wisely, such that it supports and continues to support the mother in a positive manner. So mothers can actually choose low impact exercises like walking or prenatal yoga or gentle stretching in order to not overdo activity but at the same time stay active. And these activities will actually maintain flexibility and improve posture and also promote relaxation whenever required. Prenatal yoga specifically really combines gentle movements with deep breathing and meditation for physical and mental benefit. So mothers can actually just use prenatal yoga to their benefit and harmonize the Rajas Guna within them through this practice. And they should, at the same point in time, keep listening to their body and adjust the intensity and the duration of even the yoga practice, however is needed at different stages of their pregnancy. And whenever they feel any discomfort, pain, or fatigue, they should take that into account and stop and whenever required. And if it is required, to consult a healthcare professional at this point in time if they are feeling too restless or too anxious and they cannot manage their energy at all, or they have unconsciously caused damage to their body in any manner, then of course they should consult someone professional that can help at this stage. Now, in addition to physical activity, managing restlessness and finding moments of calm and relaxation is also equally important. So rest and adequate sleep are very essential for the well-being of both mom and the baby. And taking time to unwind and recharge, especially during pregnancy, progresses and the body undergoes through a lot of changes, becomes very crucial at this point in time. So practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing and mindfulness and meditation can really help calm the mind and reduce the restlessness. And short breaks throughout the day for rest and engaging in hobbies like reading or enjoying soothing baths can contribute to a sense of balance and tranquility. And creating a supportive and nurturing environment is very crucial during this time. Seeking emotional support from loved ones or joining support groups like prenatal yoga group or mom group, etc., or participating in just yoga classes that focus on relaxation techniques and mindfulness can be really beneficial for mothers to balance pregnancy is unique, so it's really important for the mother at the same time to continue to listen to her body signals and her unique requirements. And again, if she requires that she is too anxious, then she can always consult professionals to take guidance. So by understanding and managing the Rajasunas, we can really strive to create a healthy balance between staying active and finding the moments of rest and relaxation, and embracing activities that promote overall well-being while being mindful of the body's limitations also allows the mothers to nurture themselves in a very balanced manner and honor themselves and their journey and embrace the beautiful process of bringing a new life to the world at the same point in time. Now let's look into how to address inertia and stagnation, which is the dominant characteristics of Tamasguna. So Tamasguna, mothers also experience, moments of inertia and stagnation during pregnancy, and this can be both physically and mentally. So when we understand how Tamasguna operates within us, we can help address these feelings and cultivate a sense of vitality and well-being. So Tamasguna really represents a mode of ignorance and resistance and is often associated with lethargy, dullness, and inertia. So it's really important to address these feelings and find the ways to promote energy and vitality. And to address Tamasguna during pregnancy, it is really essential to maintain a healthy lifestyle. This involves nourishing the body with wholesome and nutritious rich foods, including fresh fruits, vegetables, grains, lean proteins, healthy fats, etc., which we discussed earlier. And these foods will provide necessary nutrients to combat the feeling of heaviness and dullness. And staying hydrated is also crucial having an adequate amount of water consumption throughout the day will certainly promote a healthy circulation for optimal bodily functioning. Herbal teas and fresh fruit juices can also serve as refreshing alternatives for the mothers at this point in time. And when the mothers choose to engage in physical activities, this can also play a very significant role in combating any kind of inertia. And gentle exercises like walking, swimming, prenatal yoga can also improve circulation in the body, boost the energy levels, and also elevate the feeling of stagnation. But at the same time, it's really advisable to consult the healthcare provider or the doctor to determine the appropriate levels of physical activities for a particular mother within her body. And sometimes inertia or stagnation might be a symptom of other underlying issues, which is like any serious nutrition deficiency, etc. So that can also be looked at through help of medical professionals. Now, in addition to physical activity, nurturing mental and emotional well-being is also equally important. So practicing mindfulness and relaxation techniques can help combat mental inertia and also promote clarity and calmness. So deep breathing exercises, meditation, and also guided imagery or visualization practice can also facilitate a lot of relaxation and create a connection with the inner self. And creating a nurturing and supportive environment is so crucial during this time of pregnancy. So surrounding oneself with positive influences, seeking emotional support whenever required from the loved ones, and also considering participating in community groups, common groups of mothers or prenatal yoga groups, or different kinds of courses and classes that are empowering and uplifting. All this can also benefit and help with mental inertia. And honoring one's body need for rest and rejuvenation is also important. So mothers constantly need to listen to their body and allow the adequate rest whenever it is required, and not to label it as lethargy or laziness, but just see to have an adequate amount of rest. But if they just cannot go out of bed no matter what, then of course there is something underlying that we need to look into. So prioritizing quality sleep and establishing a regular sleep routine also promotes a very restorative stress for the mother, and it's really beneficial for both mom and baby. So just finding that balance when between adequate rest and too much lethargy is quite important. And whenever it feels that it's going beyond the control, the lethargy or inertia, one really needs to address this medically. So it's really important to remember that every pregnancy is unique, and at the same time, trusting one's instinct and listening to the body signals is the key. So as I said, that if constant feeling of inertia or struggle to overcome stagnation really persists, so reaching out to the doctors will be the key here. And so by addressing the tamasguna during pregnancy, we can overcome the feelings of inertia and stagnation and cultivate a sense of vitality and well-being. And nourishing the body with wholesome foods, engaging in gentle activity, nourishing the mental and emotional well-being, surrounding oneself with positive influences can contribute to this transformative journey with a sense of empowerment, joy, and knowing that any challenge can be overcome whenever they're willing to overcome that. So let's look into the interconnection of balancing the Tri-Gunas and nurturing baby's well-being also. So during pregnancy, the interconnection between a mother and her baby is very profound, and balancing the Tri-Gunas, Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva within the mother can have a very positive impact on the baby's well-being also. So when we look at the importance of balancing the Tri-Gunas for the babies and how it can be achieved, the first and the foremost comes here is creating a calm and nurturing environment. So when the mother cultivates the Sattva Guna within herself, it helps create a very peaceful and harmonious environment for the baby also. The calming energy radiated through the practices like meditation, mindfulness, and embracing the sattvic foods can have a very soothing impact on the baby also, and the baby is developing consciousness also at the same time. And second would be emotional well-being. So by maintaining a balance within herself, the mother provides a stability to her emotional state, and babies can sense their mother's emotion, and a mother who cultivates a sattvic dominant state fosters an emotional stability in the baby also, and this contributes to a very positive emotional foundation for the baby. The next is transference of energy. So the baby is very deeply connected to the mother's energy field also. So when the mother embraces Sattva Guna, which represents purity and goodness, she transmits that positive energy to the baby, and this can influence the baby's own energetic and emotional well-being, and it sets a very strong foundation for the baby's growth and development, not just physically, mentally, emotionally, but energetically. Now, coming on to the hormonal balance. So balancing the Tri-Gunas also help regulates the mother's hormonal system, and this directly affects the baby. So when the mother finds harmony within herself, it contributes to a healthy hormonal environment for the baby's development also. The next is stress reduction. So by managing this Rajas and Tamas within herself, the mother can minimize stress levels, and chronic stress during pregnancy can have very adverse effect on the baby's growth and development. So by creating a balanced internal state, the mother reduces the impact of stress on both herself and the baby. Sixth is positive neurological development. So the mother's emotional well-being and environment that she creates impacts the baby's neurological development. So when the mother balances her gunas, it supports the baby's development and the development of the baby's nervous system, and also promotes overall neurological well-being. Bonding and connection. So balancing the three gunas enhances the mother's ability to connect with her baby on a very deep and meaningful level. And when she is in a state of harmony, she is more attuned to the baby's needs and promotes a very strong bond and nurturing a connection between both of them. So it's really important for us to remember that the well-being of mother and the baby are intertwined. And by consciously embracing the three gunas, the mothers can create a very nurturing environment that will positively influence the baby's growth and development, and embracing practices that cultivate sattva gunas and managing rajas and tamas and fostering emotional well-being will contribute to a healthy and vibrant journey for both the mother and the baby. And trusting in the power of interconnection, the mother can embrace the journey of nurturing the baby's well-being through the balance of three gunas. And by embracing the interplay of gunas and consciously nurturing their balance, mother can give themselves and their precious baby a foundation of harmony and well-being that will resonate throughout their lives. With that, I hope this was helpful, and I hope this will contribute not just to life of the mothers that you're going to touch, but your own life in a very beautiful manner. With that, thank you and namaste.